Hi, it's me, Rex Sikes. I'm here again. And we were talking last time in the live video about the qualities of an effective leader as expounded on by Napoleon Hill in his classic Think and Grow Rich, written in 1937. And I'm going to continue that. I thought it'd be fun to examine our president, our current president, in light of these, and find out whether Trump exemplifies any or all of these. That will be left up to you. I'm gonna enumerate, and then you'll have to make the decision. But it could be your leader in whatever country you're in. It could be a local leader. It could be the head of your church group or your school. It doesn't have to be our current president of the United States. I'm going to recap the 11 main attributes, or the qualities, major attributes for leadership. I'm just going to list them, and then I'll go into the other elements that are for this discussion. Number one, does your leader have unwavering courage? Is the leader courageous? And is that courage based on self-knowledge and job expertise or skill? Two, does your leader have self-control? The person who cannot control oneself can never control others. And a person who has self-control sets an example for followers to emulate. Now, by followers, mean citizens or associates or employees or family or friends. It's not cult-like followers, but obviously, in those cases, that may be true as well. Number three, does our leader, does Trump have a keen sense of justice, a sense of fairness or justice? Because Hill says no good leader can command and retain the respect of others without a sense of fairness and a sense of justice. Definiteness of decision. The person who wavers in decision-making shows that he or she is not confident or sure of oneself, and so and a non-decisive leader cannot successfully lead others. You need to be able to make a decision quickly and be slow to change it based on accurate, reliable information and facts, not on opinion, not on hearsay, not on rumor, not on innuendo, but on accurate information. You make a decision quickly, and then you stick with it. This is what Hill, who has studied over 520 of the world's most successful men at the time, mostly, discovered when it came to elements for success. They made decisions quickly, stuck with them. Failures tend to make decisions very slowly and change their mind frequently. They flip-flop a lot. Definiteness of plans is number five. Successful leaders must plan the work and then work the plan. And without plans, Hill says it's like having a ship without a rudder. You're going to end up on the rocks. So can the leader a plan and then articulate the plan and describe the plan and follow the plan and make it available to those he leads or she leads? Six, the habit of doing more than one is paid for. An effective leader does what others aren't willing to do. It's said that successful people do what non-successful people are unwilling to do. So the successful leader, the one who embodies the best leadership qualities, is willing to do more than what they're paid for. They go beyond the job description or requirements. They're the first ones in and the last ones out. They're the ones who if would never ask a follower, an employee, an associate, a family member to do something that they were not willing to do. Number seven, and this is a big one, does this leader have a pleasing personality? Do they look like they're pleasing? Do they win more bears with honey? Or do they drive more bears away with vinegar? Are they pleasing? Is their countenance pleasing? Do they look pleasing? Are they well kept? Do they enjoy life? Do they embrace things? Followers will not submit to one who does not have a grade A pleasing personality. And he goes into other things later, but the bottom line is, if you're negative, hateful, petulant, destructive, nasty, blaming, accusing, you probably don't have a very pleasing personality. So again, assess your leaders, our president, our local leaders, our state leaders, our world leaders, the people in your prayer group, the people in your school, the people at home, what your boss and your employees, wherever leadership qualities can be evidenced, this is where you can use these to assess whether or not you think the person is fulfilling a good role as a leader based on the attributes as expressed by Napoleon Hill and his study and research of over 520 of the most successful people during his lifetime. Number 8, sympathy and understanding. You must have sympathy for your coworkers, your employees, your followers, your citizens, the people around you, and you must understand their problems. You know, you got to walk a mile in their shoes in order to effectively lead. You can't just tell people what to do. You have to know where they're coming from. So that requires an ability to communicate, and not just to speak, but to listen, to allow people to express themselves so you know where they're at, so that you can best assist them. Because after all, the job of the leader is not to dictate and to be a tyrant and to tell people what to do, but to, through cooperation, get people to live their best, to express their best, to actualize the best. If they're your employees, you want them to work well and hard and be dedicated and loyal, you know, and trust you and have a good relationship with you so that they can fulfill their life vision and make their families and their lives happy, as well as fulfilling the obligations of their job. So being a good leader is more than just telling people what to do, or ordering them or commanding them to do something. Mastery of detail is number 9. The leader must have the mastery of detail and be able to articulate that. Certainly a leader has to have vision, but they have to be able to master the details needed to fulfill that vision, even if they delegate those aspects to the people who work with them or for them. They have to be able to articulate it so that everyone understands. We got to be on the same page. I mean, cooperation and harmony means we're all in agreement. We all know what's going on. We all think alike in that regard, and we work toward a common goal or a common good. Hill says this is totally crucial, that people be in harmony, because without it, you know, one bad apple can spoil an entire bunch, right? So if you got Donnie Dark in the corner, or Debbie Dark in the corner, that can affect an entire room of people. But if your leader is dark, then what are you going to do? All right? So, by the way, hi to all the people watching and listening. I hope you'll share this with others. I hope you will invite others to join us. And I hope that you will share this and spread the word and apply these principles in your own life, and use these principles to be able to assess, to analyze and assess the leadership qualities of those people around us, and whether or not we should pay attention to them. I mean, we should have a critical mind and ability to determine whether or not we think someone is doing a good job. And these are some of the ways expounded by Napoleon Hill, who, you know, by the way, wrote the #1 success book of all time, made more people millionaires than any other book in the world, by applying these principles. So I think it's worth listening to. I do have a program coming up on Napoleon Hill. I've got mind design and many other things I know you want to get into and get involved with. But besides that, just listen now, utilize these principles, and apply them in your own life to be the most effective person you can be. Whether you're the head of a household, and by that I don't mean the traditional old school thought of head of the household, but you know what I mean. Whether you're a boss, whether you're a manager, we lead people all the time. We lead our friends out at coffee, you know. So, mastery of details was the last one. 10, willingness to assume full responsibility. And this is one, I think, in present times where we can say that the marks score very low on our president in this regard. But again, you decide. A willingness to assume full responsibility. Must be willing to assume responsibility for mistakes and shortcomings, not only of his or herself, but of his or her followers or workers or associates or administration or cabinet or office or whatever. The leader can't shift responsibility. The leader has to be accountable and take responsibility for the mistakes made by people who may be incompetent within the leader's purview. The leader doesn't blame, doesn't point fingers, doesn't say, it's, and the reason for this is important because leadership is based on power and cooperation, and in order to cooperate, you must have power, and in order to have power, you must cooperate. I mean, think of it that way. Yes, people can dictate. Yes, people command. Yes, there are tyrants. Yes, there are evildoers, who tell people what to do and how to do them. But here's the point. If you blame, it means that something outside of your control, something outside of you has more power than you to dictate circumstances which are not desirable to you, which means you are not effective. You are not maximizing your power or your ability to make changes in your own circumstances. Now, this is crucial not only to our president and to the world leaders and to your local leaders, but to each of us. If we're busy blaming our children or our parents or circumstances or the bank or the weather or the media or whatever, then we're not exercising our true power and resourcefulness to make changes and to determine our own fate. We are not the captain of our ship nor the master of our fate at that point. We are the victim of the tides and circumstances. We're like cork bobbing in the water. If all we can do is blame others for where we are right now, we did not do a very good job of getting where we want to be. So if our leaders, or if you or I, blame other people for the circumstances we find ourselves in, we've given up total control. We are no longer at cause, but we are at effect. We are like a cork bobbing in the water, driven by the wind and the waves. And that's not effective leadership, and that certainly isn't powerful. A true leader, that's why the buck stops here was an important phrase. The buck stops here for me, for whom I am, for my workers and everything. If my worker offended you, it used to be in customer service, that people say, I'm so sorry that happened, madam. I am so sorry that happened, sir. I can't believe that you were treated that way. I will make amends. I mean, the stories go in terms of customer service of the lady or man who brought back a tire to one of the stores and said, I hate your tire. And they said, no worries, we'll replace it. And they never even sold the tire. They knew that keeping this person happy was worth it in the long run than to argue over the fact that they didn't sell the tire. I mean, this is an example of leadership and of offering quality and of offering good quality and understanding for the people you work with and do business with. And number 11 of this list that I was touching on is cooperation. Successful leaders must understand and apply the principle of cooperative effort and be able to induce, invite, suggest, allow the followers, the workers, to do the same. Leadership calls for power, and power calls for cooperation. It's not a one-up, a one-down. It's not, can I crush my enemy? It's how do we cooperate to make everything better? The idea of win-win in negotiations, yes, someone's going to get maybe a lesser deal, or they're not going to get everything what you want, but you want people to be able to walk away feeling like, wow, that was worth it, and I got my bottom line, and you got your bottom line, and together we can build something better than what we could have done independently. This is what cooperation means. You and I work together to build something that you and I couldn't do alone. And if we set our sights high and we have the vision, as Napoleon Hill says, we have a vision, we have a definite chief purpose or aim, and something that we work toward, and we persist, and we don't quit, and we never give up. And temporary defeat, though it may come along, and obstacles may challenge us, we learn from those lessons, we pick ourselves up if we fall down, and we keep moving forward. All right. Now, if you're enjoying this, please do share it. Please leave comments. That's really great. Please come to my Napoleon Hill class when I launch it. It won't be too long in the future. And right now going on is a totally life-transformative program called Mind Design. And if you want to know more about Mind Design, email createyourbestlife.ever.with.Rex or createyourbestlife.with.Rex. We'll put it in the notes below at gmail.com, or you can go to Daily Inspiration Gratitude. You can click on the bar and it'll say Mind Design. You get information there. Okay, I never, I need to know these details. I should have it written down before I start, and I will. I promise you, and I'll get it in the comments. So the 10 major causes of failure in leadership. Now, this is where you assess yourself, but let's assess our president. Let's find out if Trump is a good or not so good leader. But I'm not going to say he is or isn't. I mean, I'm going to let you assess that, because everyone will have a different opinion. Right, number one, now this is, we're telling you what to do, but also what not to do. So the inability to organize details. Efficient leadership calls for the ability to organize and master details. No genuine leader is ever too busy to do anything which may be required of him or her in the capacity of a leader. If the person is too busy to be bothered, then they're admitting to inefficiency. So a good leader must master organizing details and acquire the habit of relegating details to the capable people to carry those out. So they must know how to delegate, but they must know how to organize. They must be efficient. They must go beyond what is commonly required of others. They have to set the standard, and hopefully it's a high standard. Number two, an unwillingness to render humble service. Now, again, these are the major causes of failure. An unwillingness. True leaders, when the situation demands, is willing to perform any labor they would want another to do. So the greatest among you shall be a servant of all. That's, I believe, even a biblical quote. Those that are first shall be last, and those who are last. That's not the same quote, but, the greatest among you will be a servant of all. So the leader needs to serve the people. You need to serve the family, serve your business, serve your clients, serve your customers. You need to serve yourself when you think about it. That's truly what this is about. All of these leadership attributes, qualities, and the downside or the mistakes or the causes of failure are so you can assess yourself in light of these, and so that we can analyze and assess those who have leadership positions around us. So a true leader is willing to render humble service, and one who's a crummy leader will not. A poor leader, or a reason for failure, is the expectation to be paid for what they know rather than what they do with what they know. See, the world doesn't pay you for what you know. It's not paying you for your knowledge. It's paying for you to apply that knowledge. It pays you for what you can do and what you can get others to do. Those who are the richest, typically, or the more successful, excuse me, are those who are able to induce great numbers of people to do things. I mean, a corporation will call people in to work so that they can motivate large groups of people or get them to perform in a particular way. Now, corporations sometimes isn't the best example to use, because a lot of corporations want people to come in, kind of do a pony show, but not really change anything. They want to reward the workers, kind of like they brighten the lights one month and they turn them down the next month, so the workers feel like they're being paid attention to, but they don't want the apple cart upset. They don't want to change the status quo. But the bottom line is people are paid for what they can accomplish, not for what they can think. Yes, ideas can make money. I'm not saying that they can't, but typically what causes people to fail is they think, I should be paid because I'm smart. And if you're really smart, then you're able to apply your smarts to get yourself and others and the clients and customers that you service to do the things that they want to do and accomplish those things, and then you'll make the big bucks. 4, a poor leader fears competition from followers. The leader who fears a follower will take his position, will someday realize this. The able leader trains understudies to whom he or she may delegate at will any of the details of his or her position, and only in this way can the leader multiply oneself to be in many places at many different times. So a good leader trains the staff, trains the administration, trains the workers, the co-workers, the associates, the employees to be able to fulfill the leader's position, so that the leader doesn't have... Seems like we had an internet snafu here. I hope that everything is good. It says it's an eternal truth that humans Men, women get paid more for their ability to get others to perform than they could possibly earn on their own. Therefore, an efficient leader, through the leader's knowledge of the job and personal magnetism, greatly increases the efficiency of others and induces them to render more service, better service, than they could or would without that leader's assistance. So if you're destroying relationships, if you're burning bridges, if you're trying to smash other people and you're not cooperating and you're not getting people to cooperate and work together to build something greater, you're not a good leader. You are failing at that. You know, yeah, you might be a good destructor, but you're not a good builder. And we could take all the bridges in our country and we could demolish them, and then what? And sadly, in our country, a lot of our bridges are falling down. So what do? We go to repair our bridges. We go to build new bridges. And this is what we need to do with people, with our family members, our friends, our coworkers, our associates, our constituents, and the countries in which we negotiate. The states and the federal government, and congressmen and the senators, and Germany and the United States, and America and South Africa and Australia. All of us have to work together, cooperate, to have a better world. Lack of imagination. Lack of imagination. If you don't have imagination as a leader, you're incapable of meeting emergencies and creating plans to guide your followers efficiently. So, and this is why in the science of self-control and mastery of oneself and personal development and self-help, visualizing and using your imagination is so incredibly important. Learning how to be creative, learning how to see what you want in your mind's eye and imagine yourself already living that reality, to see what you want, imagine how it was. This is what Tesla did. He was able to build a machine and see it as if it were already running, and then he knew what to correct. You know, when you develop the ability to imagine, you can meet any problem head on. You know, you have prepared yourself, and success is the crossroads where preparedness and luck intersect. So you want to develop your ability to imagine so that you can meet emergencies and be able to communicate to those people who you need to should an emergency arise. There's another reason why you should be honest, and you should be loyal to your people so that they are honest and loyal to you. If you aren't truthful to them, what makes you think they'll be truthful to you? This goes back to the law of reciprocation, or law of reciprocity I talked about yesterday. If you aren't honest and loyal, why would you ever expect anyone to be honest and loyal back? If you blame them, why would you expect anyone to do anything but to blame you? You know, what goes around comes around. So where are you in this assessment? And where are our current day political leaders, Mr. Trump, you know, our Congress and our senators on both sides of the aisle? Where do they parse it out, figure it out? You know, you and I may disagree on some of these things, but that's where we need to, agree to disagree and cooperate. But we need to look at it accurately, not based on opinion or emotionality. We need to find as much accurate information as we can, parse it out, seek the truth, and not be misled by false rumors or false news or false reports or false claims, okay? We should vet our information and get accurate knowledge. A good leader, or a bad leader rather, is selfish. The leader who claims all of the honor for all of the work of his followers will be met with great resentment. If you have to brag, if your ego is such that you are the only one that matters and no one else does, you are not an effective leader. A good leader claims none of the honors. A good leader is contented to see the honors go to the followers because the leader knows that people will work harder when they're commended and recognized, oftentimes harder and more dedicated than they will even for a raise or for cash. Recognition and praise and acknowledgement go a long way. A pat on the back, oftentimes a kind word, is often more significant than added money. Yeah, money may be tight for people in the world, and there are transactions that you do with your friends and your family that don't have anything to do with money. So a good leader doesn't take all the credit, but is willing to give the credit to the followers and the people who make the leader look good. You know, if you've got somebody who makes you look good, boy, by doing what they should do and getting things done and accomplishing things, that person is invaluable to you. That person is priceless because they are singing your praises, and so you should sing their praises as well. Intemperance. If the leader is intemperate, has no self-control, intemperate, and it will destroy endurance and vitality, and is not respected by others. If you can't control yourself, or if you're overindulgent, if you're nasty and have a bad disposition, disloyalty is number 8. And Hill says perhaps this should head the list. He says the leader who isn't loyal to his trust and to his associates above and below him or her will not long maintain leadership. Lack of loyalty is one of the major causes of failure in life. And now you can talk about loyalty in the current day, about, you know, people turning and flipping and all that kind of stuff, but it's beyond that. I mean, think about that for a second. That's something else. True loyalty to your friends, to your family, to the people who service you, to your clients, to your customers. They know that they can count on you, that you're trustworthy, you're loyal, you're dependable, you're honest, you're reliable, you do what you say, and they will stay with you, but you are also loyal to them. You go the extra mile. You do what others are unwilling to do to service your clients and your family and your friends. You go that extra mile. This is why I love Napoleon Hill. He took all of these things from the 20 years of his study and he coalesced them into a practical, principle-based philosophy that you can apply to change your life and to think and grow rich. You don't have to effort hard. I mean, yes, there's work involved, but it's not about the hard work. It's about having the right mindset. So this is important because this is about how you lead yourself, how you govern your life, and how you get along with others, because nobody gets rich on their own. True, you know, you might stick some money in a crypto thing, and next thing you know, you have millions, or you win a lottery. But in business, you know, where do you get most of your money? From other people. How do you get most of your money from other people? Through a service, you know, or a merchandise that you sell. So if that's the case for you, then you want to be exemplary. You want to be a world-class leader in your own life, so that you can accomplish what you want and create your own best life ever, and to assist others in doing the same. And if you're a world leader or a president or a local leader or the leader of the local YMCA or whatever, these are the attributes you want to embody, as well as the causes of failure you want to eliminate and or change. A bad leader emphasizes the authority of leadership. The efficient leader leads by encouraging and not by instilling fear. The bad leader uses force and tries to impress with authority. If the leader's a real leader, it won't have to advertise in any way, because the conduct of the leader, through sympathy, understanding, fairness, demonstrates the leader's expertise. You know, if you walk your talk, everyone will know. You know, and if you act tough and smash things and destroy things and claim to be sovereign and above everybody else and tougher than everybody else and better than everybody else, well, guess what? You suck as a leader, is what Hill says. So this is one of the major failures and major causes of leaders failing, but also of poor leadership. I think we all know. Anyway. Emphasis on title. A competent leader requires no title to give the leader respect or credit. You know, one who makes a big deal of the title has little else to emphasize, says Hill. Yeah, the office doors of a real leader are always open to anyone who's willing to, who wishes to enter, and are free from ostentation and formality. The leader is open and willing to listen. You know, and the ability to take criticism and to take feedback is part of all of this. One of the, you know, the common faults of a leader is having too many yes people around who sing your praises and say yes, and people are unwilling to say no because they fear the consequences of what might happen. And so the leader doesn't get accurate information. The leader only gets manufactured information They get delusional information. They get yes people information. So that's truly, truly an issue for leaders. Because if they can't get accurate information, they're making decisions based on opinion. They're based on delusion. So you have to, as a leader, lead from the other person's shoes. You have to walk a mile in their shoes to know what they want and what they need. You need to know how they wanted to be listened to, what's important to them, what their problems are, what their dreams are, what they hope to accomplish. And then your job is to help them fulfill those things. It's not to take things away. It's not to just put money in the pockets of your friends. It's not to, reduce everything to nothingness. It's to build something better. Now, we all have different opinions about what's maybe better or how to accomplish that. But I think if we did it in the spirit of Napoleon Hill, if we did it as a mastermind, a true mastermind, if Congress could get together and say, you know what, we need more than anything else is harmony, not partisan politics. Same with the Senate, same with the administration and the different branches of government, same with each of us who have political interests or religious interests, the races, the genders, all that. If we could get along and we could cooperate and say, you know what, we're all people on the planet, we're on a rock hurtling through space at something like 65,000 miles an hour. We're all on this icicle in space. Well, let's make it the best we can. How can we do that? What can we do? Instead of carving up the pie, make more pies. This is the thing about scarcity. People want you to feel scared. They want you to feel off balance. They want you to not know who to trust. They want you to be, unsure. And it's a horrible way to live. What we need is people who instill in us faith and confidence, people who help us to be the best people we can be, to fulfill that which we were born to fulfill, to make all of our dreams come true. You and I live in the most abundant universe. We have an incredible world, an incredible planet, and the only thing that creates scarcity are the humans who try to control, who create cartels. It's not just diamonds and avocados that are cartels. It's everything. It's access to land and water, to food, to travel, to the right to come to. Borders are imaginary things, the lines that people draw in the sand. To keep other people out. This goes back to, human protectionism. We can't, I never want to get to the point where I have one cookie in the house and then I have to decide who of my family gets to eat it. I never want to have a gun pointed at my neighbor going, don't you dare come in my house, I'll blow your head off, if you're trying to get my cookie. I want to live in harmony. I don't know about you, but I want to live in harmony. I want to live in peace. I want to live in joy. I want to live in life. There is so much good in the world. There's more good in the world than there is wrong in the world. There's more great weather than there is bad weather. The news emphasizes the wrong things. If it bleeds, it leads. So we mistakenly think that the world is worse off than it actually is. Sure, there are problems that need to be solved. But the way we solve them is with true power. It's by coming together in harmony, of one mind and of one spirit, and saying, okay, let's resolve this in a way that is mutually satisfying to all of us. Can we agree? Can we find that? Not, how can I trample you down and be victorious, or you cheat or take from me, but how do we cooperate in the spirit of cooperation and harmony? How do we come together and build something better than we could ever hope to build alone? I hope you've enjoyed my couple live videos on leadership. I may do another one yet, but take these to heart. If you embody these principles, you will transform your life, and you'll transform your relationships, and you'll transform everyone around you. And if you've liked this video, please share it. I think the world needs it. I truly do. I think they need this information to get out there. the people around you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, people on Facebook, our world leaders need to hear this again, because obviously they have forgotten it. If you look at the current state of U.S. politics and probably the world, thank you. That's nice of you to say that you love my videos. Please share. Please share. And please keep commenting. I really appreciate you saying as much. The world needs this information. It has to get out there. More and more people have to hear it. We can make the world a truly wonderful place. We don't have to give up. And if we don't give up, but we cooperate and come together and know what we want to build and make a plan and work that plan, and temporary defeat and obstacles and challenges that come our way, if we don't let those derail us, but we pick ourselves up each time, learn, take the feedback, we can accomplish it. And you can do the very same in your own life, in your career, and in your health, and your wealth, and in your relationships. And that's why I'm here. So I hope you come and join me in Mind Design. It's going on right now. Find it, dailyinspirationgratitude.com, the pull-down menu. It'll say Mind Design. Go check out the information there. If you don't already get my free gift and you want to, same place, dailyinspirationgratitude.com, spelled just as it sounds, dailyinspirationgratitude.com. It'll say free gift. Go there, click on the button, get your free gift, get my newsletter. You'll love it. All sorts of great information, great deals, great programs, great tips and suggestions. So go get the newsletter. It's absolutely free. And the Napoleon Hill class will be coming up. And I love this class. I love Napoleon Hill. I truly do. There's so many great thought leaders in the world, but Napoleon Hill and I have always kind of been of one mind and one heart. I truly love his voice and have been happy to speak it for all these years. So I hope you'll join me in that too. Get information. It's all there. And again, I love you. I hope you share this. I hope you comment. Leave lots of comments, because the more you do, the more other people get to see and hear and benefit from this. And if you've benefited in any way, if you got one idea that helps you implement something or change the way you think or overcome a difficulty and do something new in a positive way in your behalf, then share. I love you. Namaste. Until the next time, peace.